Opposition party is the media. And the media can only, because they're dumb and they're lazy, they can only focus on one thing at a time. And the one thing they'll mainly focus on is either they do the horse race, or once the horse race, who's in, who's out. Right. It's like the high school, who are the cool kids in the cafeteria, right? Because it's easy. It's the reason they do the horse race stuff all the time, right? And they won't do the basic, what are the core things that are going on in the country? I said, all we have to do is flood the zone. Every day we hit them with 3 things. They'll bite on one and we'll get all of our stuff done. Bang, bang, bang. These guys will never be able to recover, but we got to start with muzzle velocity. So it's got to start, and it's got a hammer, it's got muzzle velocity.
He was the first president elected with the help of a hostile foreign power. That's not a hoax. It's the conclusion of the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee and every national security agency. And what did the Russians get helping elect Trump in 2016? Turns out they got a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people, really get upset by the things that I say. I don't really care all that much, but they're out to get me now, boys. Which is fine.
Now the Republican Party is the heart of pro-Putin movement in American politics. That's why Donald Trump nominated Tulsi Gabbard, Moscow's sweetheart, for a critical national intelligence position. That's why he loves J.D. Vance's vicious attacks on Ukrainian freedom fighters. What happened to Republicans standing for freedom?
I have been fighting since Election Day, trying to get me kicked off. I guess that's what they call free speech. And now, they are in superdrive to scare the hell out of anybody who says anything. Well, none of that fucking matters to me. You do what the fuck you want to do. We'll see how it goes.
Tens of thousands of Americans died fighting a European dictator. Now, an American president embraces a dictator at war with freedom. When Donald Trump was inaugurated, remember who else was celebrating? Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump together again.
But that's not what this video is about.
It's time to play What's Wrong with This Picture?
On trade, it remains a mystery as to why Trump singled out Canada. In the 2024 fiscal year, less than 10% of migrant encounters happened at the Canadian border, and just 0.2% of fentanyl seizures occurred there. America runs a smaller trade deficit with Canada than with China or Vietnam. In fact, if you put aside Canadian crude oil, the U.S. sells more to Canada than it buys from it.
Do you view Vice President J.D. Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No.
And now they want to take away grandmother's food money?
In light of all that, I'd like to make a brief public service announcement. This is up.
Before we had Social Security, old people would buy cat food and dog food because they couldn't afford regular food.
But the effect is clear. For Canada, the U.S. is turning into an undependable ally, and it will try to lessen its reliance on America and search for new markets and friends, from Britain to China. The largest effect, though, is on American democracy. The scholar Francis Fukuyama has noted that the history of modern government has been a steady movement away from patrimonial rule, the rule of a single strongman to benefit his family and friends, towards rule by institutions and rules and norms. He notes that in the United States now, we are seeing the return to patrimonial rule, as citizens freely debating laws are replaced by supplicants begging the king to favor their interests.
I guess we're going back to the conservative ways, right? Maybe it wouldn't be such a problem if those bitches got back in the kitchen. Oh, we're working on that too.
Don't count on it! Oh.
They're trying to change everything back to the way they liked it when white, male, douchebag asshole was the median. When piece of shit white boy was the default setting to anything good.
It's called SpaceX. The US government is their most important client.
SpaceX has already gotten billions of dollars worth of contracts between 2009 and 2024, but this could pale in comparison to future contracts under the Trump-Musk alliance.
He would like as many more contracts as possible and would like a president who would say, create a new Mars program and hire him to send the rockets up.
Highly unusual for the CEO of so many companies to play such a strong role in an incoming administration where he will have sway over the agencies that the government regulates. But this is Trump 2.0. Like the sort of old rules of conflicts of interest may be out the window here.
He's a great business guy. And
the changes are happening right now. My God, Elon just threatened to bring in the U.S. Marshals. How the fuck does he have the authority to call a U.S. Marshal? Or tell him to do anything? This isn't even an oligarchy, man. This has gone beyond that. Certainly the Russian version. The Russian version is bad enough. But this bullshit? What do you think Putin would do if one of his oligarchs started ordering his government around? In public.
Buzz!
But I guess when you're a wholly owned subsidiary of Elon Musk's little world, you do what you're fucking told. And this week they were told to lock the doors of the Department of Education and give us the keys to the Department of Treasury? The judge had to throw that shit out because what the fuck are you talking about? You have no right or access to that shit. Why the fuck would we want a bunch of tech bros having access to the Social Security Administration?
I think we need to go in and do wholesale removal of regulations. Like regulations basically should be default gone. Default gone, not default there, default gone. And if it turns out that we missed the mark on a regulation, we always add it back in.
I mean, hell, I thought they were busy rebuilding our fucking FAA department. Didn't they just say they're going to plug in?
Newly minted Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy posted today on Musk's platform, quote, "Big news, talk to the DOGE team. They're going to plug in to help upgrade our aviation system."
Our planes will be controlled by a guy who can't even get himself off the ground?
Guys, just cut it out. Just stop it.
I don't know how good Elon is at, telling everybody else where to fly or how to fly. He's hit or miss at best.
This was the scene today at the United States Agency for International Development, better known as USAID. A group of Senate and House Democrats were blocked from even entering the agency's headquarters in Washington, D.C.
We went inside. We asked to enter the AID building. We were denied entry based on the order that they received from Elon Musk and DOGE.
But of course, he wants to be involved in every single little aspect. What kind of control are we giving to these people?
We have identified a 25-year-old engineer who previously worked for both SpaceX and X, companies with one thing in common. They share an owner in Elon Musk, who now has direct access to Treasury Department systems that are responsible for nearly all payments made by the U.S. government. So that includes federal tax returns, Social Security benefits, veterans pay, payouts to federal contractors.
OPM has also found itself infiltrated by at least one of Elon Musk's very young acolytes. Wired uncovered a number of these young men, including a 19-year-old.
Fifth-year senior who wasn't invited to the sleepover, but showed up anyway.
Named Edward Korestein, who appears to have recently graduated from high school and to have been enrolled at Northeastern University. Employees at the Government Services Administration tell Wired that Korestein has appeared on calls where workers were made to go over code they had written and justify their jobs to the college freshmen.
Guys, just cut it out. Just stop.
You know what?
What kind of systems
Thank y'all very
are
much.
being ran
that was,
not by our government
very
now, but
exhilarating.
by Tesla? By SpaceX? Or is it by Elon personally? I'm just curious. Who writes this code? Have they been vetted? Have they been background checked? Do we know what the fuck they're writing?
Today, President Trump announced that in addition to being president of the United States, he is now chairman of Washington's Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. He was elected by a board that he recently shook up, replacing appointees by Democratic presidents with Trump loyalists.
He says, quote, "It is a great honor to be chairman, especially with this amazing board of trustees. We will make it a very special and exciting place."
It's a very exciting development. It's going to be great. I think we're going to do something very special. I think we're going to make it hot. We made the presidency hot. So this should be easy.
Hell, Zuckerberg says that AI is soon going to be writing all the code for us.
White people.
Sure.
Did you ever see Terminator? Are you a fucking idiot?
I was very upfront in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable.
Listen to me very carefully.
The Associated Press says its reporters were banned from two White House events yesterday, one in the Oval Office, the other in the White House diplomatic room. The administration is currently at odds with the news agency after demanding the AP alter its style policy on the Gulf of Mexico, which President Trump has ordered renamed the Gulf of America.
And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is.
You're going to allow computers to write their own code while they're busy becoming aware.
I'm actually very appreciative to Elon Musk, the smartest guy in the world, one of the richest guys in the world. It's volunteering to do this for our country.
Yeah, he's just volunteering. He's basically an after-school tutor. In fact, he's really helping this troubled young gentleman turn his life around. My life was headed the wrong way, but then Elon helped me turn it around, all with the help of
magnets. So we're putting those guys in charge of rebuilding our government's, what's that, computers? Perfect. Hell, at the very least, can you imagine the size of that contract? Elon's going to be a trillionaire, and the money's going to come out of the back of your pocket. Which is how he got every goddamn dollar he ever had.
Elon Musk owns X, which has been losing money like crazy. So Elon has a plan for a new payment platform called X Money. Elon wants X Money to touch every part of your financial life. The CFPB is there to make sure that Elon's new project can't scam you or steal your sensitive personal data. So Elon's solution, get rid of the cops, kill the CFPB.
And they make, of course, all electric catapults, which don't work. And they have all magnetic elevators. They lift up 25 planes at a time, 20 planes at a time. And instead of using hydraulic, like on tractors that can handle anything from hurricanes to lightning to anything, they use magnets. It's a new theory. Magnets are going to lift the planes up, and it doesn't work.
For real, can you tell us what the you're talking about?
This just in. One of the DOGE bags has been kicked out. He's been forced to resign for some pretty bad shit that he said. Not complete list here. I'll just give you the headline. I was a racist before racism was cool. That's what he said. He resigned so that Elon could now say that he's going to hire him back. Just like Elon did Andrew Tate. A person who calls himself a trafficker of women.
And if you're wondering how his head moves, it's
hydraulic.
We actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, our actions, we post our actions to the DOGE handle on X. I fully expect to be scrutinized and get a daily proctology exam.
Elon Musk is the most dangerous man in America. Donald Trump is his ass clown. And he's about to rewrite the entire government code.
Take action. Contact your state's Consumer Protection Agency. Contact your state attorney general. If your Social Security data has been illegally accessed, you have rights. No one elected Elon Musk. No one elected the tech bros following his orders. They have no special status under the law. You have rights. Use them. Don't let the bastards get away with it.
And if they don't have AI write it, Elon himself says, 2 of these guys at least, on this little douche bro cadre shit they got going on, Elon calls them his best coders. That's why they're there. That's what they're doing. And the guy that brought us such fine automobiles and rockets that explode at a rate that could only be compared to Baghdad downtown circa 1990.
If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours. I would tell Putin, gotta settle. I would tell Zelensky, you gotta settle. I would get a settlement in 24 hours, no longer than one day. I can get it ended as president-elect. I will get it settled before I even become president.
It's a lot of fucking rockets blowing up is what I'm saying. These fucking Teslas burn up on minor wrecks and then fry. And they're quick to point out how there's no gasoline in it. They got a thing on the car called self-driving, which was never self-driving. And it's an open source code where everybody just goes around. And Tesla's, learning how the code should be written based on how people use it. What the fuck are you talking about? Did those Tesla drivers sign up to be in your little science experiment? Because I guarantee I didn't when that fucking Tesla slams into me. What are you fucking people, stupid?
Russia freed a wrongfully detained American teacher. Mark Fogel returning to the U.S. after more than 3 years in Russian captivity, imprisoned for carrying a small amount of medically prescribed marijuana. In exchange, the U.S. releasing Russian cybercrime kingpin Alexander Vinnik.
So you're goddamn right. It's coming. They're fixing to tank the entire economy. And they're going to run out the back door with the biggest stack of gold the United States has ever produced. And they're stacking it right now. Don't let them raise the debt ceiling $4 trillion? What are you talking about? How is it that y'all get more money, but you're cutting USAID?
Elon can't do and won't do anything without our approval. And we'll give him the approval where appropriate. Where not appropriate, we won't. Where we think there's a conflict or there's a problem, we won't let him go near it.
The State Department apparently plans to buy $400 million of armored Tesla Cybertrucks.
I would submit, at the very least, that whatever monies need to be cut, it damn sure should come right off the top of that fucking tax cut. What are you talking about?
This morning, President Trump pledging to meet with Russian President Putin in person after announcing they've agreed to start negotiations immediately to end the war in Ukraine.
President Trump saying, quote, I just had a lengthy and highly productive phone call with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. We discussed Ukraine, the Middle East, energy, artificial intelligence, the power of the dollar, and various other subjects.
Pete Hegseth, speaking at NATO headquarters during his first trip to Europe, was blunt, saying Ukraine's long-sought membership in NATO isn't realistic. Neither is thinking Ukraine can regain all the territory Russia has seized.
We must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective.
Do you view Ukraine as an equal member of this peace process?
It's an interesting question.
Speaking in unusually blunt terms, the German defense minister accusing the Trump administration of making concessions to Putin before these peace negotiations have even begun.
I said that was not a good war to go into.
Stop acting like a fool! Get your hands up!
They were invaded!
Tech bros and douchebag hoes and little fucking Elon's cadre of cocksuckers are now in charge of our government. That's some alpha male shit right there. For Elon, not for Trump. He's the bitch. But America, you're the gimp. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Y'all take it easy.
Who is threatening the Social Security benefits you worked hard for all your life? Elon Musk. Who gets to look at the personal information the government has on you in its databases? Elon Musk. Who controls the computer systems that decide if you get your tax refund, or disaster relief, or Medicare benefits? Elon Musk. Who gets billions in taxpayer money every year, all while controlling the government's payment system? Elon Musk. President Musk says he wants at least $2 trillion in cuts. That's your Social Security. That's your Medicare. That's America's roads and bridges. That's an economic depression. You think you voted for Trump, but you didn't. You voted for Elon Musk. All hail President Elon Musk.
It has sunshine, Silicon Valley, and an abundant supply of avocados. These are some of the reasons cited in a satirical Danish petition for wanting to buy California from the United States. It's a tongue-in-cheek response to US President Donald Trump's repeated wish to buy Greenland from Denmark, a proposition rejected by officials in Copenhagen and Greenland.
Come on. Don't negotiate, let's investigate, we'll accelerate, and we're taking him down.